The red carpet has been rolled out and all eyes are on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit for the first time to Israel. In fact, it would be the very first time a sitting Indian Prime Minister would be visiting Israel. The visit has been described as one which is historic, and in fact the Israeli government is going all out. Benjamin Netanyahu has also said that the kind of welcome which will be accorded to Prime Minister Modi is the kind reserved usually for the Pope or for the US President. And the Israeli media is not that far behind either. There is a lot of positive coverage, a huge volume of coverage in the Israeli media. According to agency PTI, a business financial daily, The Marker has described the visit and told its readers that wake up, the most important prime minister in the world is visiting. So what is all of this excitement about, and why is the Israeli media so excited about Prime Minister Modi visiting? Well, to talk about that, we're joined now by Seth J. Frantzman. He's senior editor at the Jerusalem Post. Seth, thank you so much for speaking with BloombergQuint. I was looking at your website, and you have a dedicated piece to Prime Minister Modi coming. You have a couple of opinion pieces, and you're also promising live coverage right from touchdown. Why the excitement?
Yeah, I think definitely people here are very excited, and we've had a lot of submissions to the opinion desk about the visit, and we have reporters, as you said, that are going to be covering this basically live when he arrives. We'll be covering his meetings with the Prime Minister, and also, of course, they will be paying a particular attention to some defense contracts, military deals that are supposed to be signed, and also the rally that he will have, I think, tomorrow and Wednesday. The Prime Minister of India will have a rally for Indian citizens, whoever wants to come in Tel Aviv.
So are there a lot of Indian citizens in Tel Aviv? Is there a lot of buzz about people who want to go and see that rally? Because that has been a huge part of a lot of his foreign visits, where he speaks to the diaspora.
Yeah, I mean, Israel is not the main destination for Indian workers or professionals, but obviously there are Indians that come here. Some of them work in different professions. And also Israel's unique, I suppose, in also having an Indian Jewish community of thousands of people who are descendants or who also came from India before and after Israel's independence in 1948. So you have kind of two different communities that both have origins and connections to India, as well as many Jewish Israelis who have visited India as tourists, because I think many Israelis go to India and have gone there for many decades.
All right, of course, Israel's top defense exports are to India. We're on top of that list. Maybe some big deals may be announced during this trip. So is it all about the commerce and the big deals? Is that one reason for that red carpet being rolled out? India is potentially a huge buyer?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's definitely one side of it, because our understanding is that the deals that Israel's signing with India are averaging about $1 billion in annual sales in primarily defense contracts. And recent deals have also been more than that, $1.6 billion with Israel Aerospace Industries. For a country like Israel that exports, I think it's like something like $8 billion in defense, obviously India is a major trading partner. But I think beyond that, Israel and India have a shared history. They were both founded in 1948 after the British rule ended. They both are ancient civilizations. They both have a large Muslim minorities. So I think there's a lot of shared history and a lot of shared culture and a lot of shared values, because both India and Israel are democracies. India is obviously one of the largest democracy in the world. Israel is one of the smaller ones, but there's a lot going on that I think makes the country natural allies and natural connection.
Sure. I was reading an opinion piece on your website, Seth, which said, and one line in it said that this Prime Minister has ensured that the Israel-India relationship comes out of the closet. Is that also part of the excitement and the fact that Prime Minister Modi will be skipping Ramallah?
Yes, I think historically, as many people know, India didn't have good relations with Israel in the first decades. And especially, India was run by the Congress Party, which was in those years more hostile to Israel, more closer to the non-aligned and many of the Arab states, and also closer to the Soviet bloc during the Cold War. But once the Cold War ended, I think a lot of things shifted, and India and Israel have grown much closer. And so we're definitely seeing, I think, those historic trajectories. Modi, in some ways, as a more Hindu or more right-wing prime minister, has many commonalities with the more Jewish and more center-right in Israel, historically, in terms of their ideologies and where they sit on the political map. So I think we see that as well. And it is, in a sense, coming out of the closet because it is the first visit, obviously.
All right, just one last question, Seth. As a journalist who's going to be covering this diplomatic mission, this trip, what are the things you are keeping an eye out for? What will you be tracking?
I think it's interesting to see how Modi relates to the history of the Jewish people and the Yad Vashem and the Holocaust and religion. I think it will be interesting to see some of the statements he makes. I mean, especially, as you said, he's apparently not going to Ramallah. So it will be interesting to see what he talks about the Israel-Palestine conflict, because historically India has tended to support resolutions against Israel at the United Nations condemning settlements and things like that. So it will be interesting to see if he talks at all about wanting to play any kind of role relating to the conflict, or if the discussion is primarily about other issues like defense and primarily about Israel issues. That would be definitely interesting to keep our eyes on.
All right. Thank you, Seth, for joining us. Seth Frantzman joining us from the Jerusalem Post from Tel Aviv, and giving us an idea of why all that excitement is building in Israel about Prime Minister Modi visiting. In fact, the Israeli embassy in India even put out a Twitter video of Israelis welcoming Prime Minister Modi in Hindi. So it's all set. The stage is set for this big celebration. Let's wait and watch and see what really comes out of it.